I guess on my hair, she look alright. And with that actually sitting there like this creams, and I had to have them, sis. All 5 of them. Here, I just had, we're gonna discontinue it, but I had to pick up their book of shadows, honey. Color grade makes cheap fan, expensive breeze, good times. Why so serious? What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Torrence here, and in today's video, I'm bringing you one of my favorite brands. You all know juviasplace dropped the Nubian Earth palette. It sold out the day it was released, but I had to get up on it like I do with every palette. This here is a 12 pan neutral palette, and it shocked me because lately we've been getting 4 and 6 pans, so I'm like, wait, 12 pans? Oh, you know I got to get up on that. I'm wearing this look on my eyes today, and every time I've seen anybody talk about this palette, it's always been one or the other. They either absolutely love it or they absolutely hate it. And you all know I'm going to be honest with you no matter how much I love a brand. So today I am wearing this. I believe I'm wearing either 6, let me see, 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. I believe I'm wearing 8 of these 12 shades here. And as you can see, this look is beautiful and over the top. But this palette does come with pros and cons. So if you all would like to achieve this look, as well as if you want to know if I recommend this palette, just make sure you stay tuned for this tutorial. But before we get into it, you got to get into these swatches. Before we get to swatches, I wanted to show you the packaging. Juviasplace always kills it with the packaging. I love the fact that the box always matches the palette. They're not one of those brands who goes all out on the box that you're going to throw away and then give you a plain palette. It's just as beautiful on the outside as it is on the inside. Once inside, we have 12 neutral shades here. There appears to be 7 shimmers, 5 mattes. Shade number 11 does appear to have some sparkle to it, and shade number 1 appears to be a topper. But what I'm most interested in is shade number 6, which really looks like it has a green hue to it. Sis, I was not prepared for this. Do you see the color range on here? I'm talking extremely dark mattes, light mattes, extremely light shimmers, dark shimmers. We have that very first shade appears to be a topper. That second shade appears to be like a super shock shadow. Shade number 6 appears to be like a duochrome with some green to it. And shade number 11, which is the darkest, it does have those sparkles to it, but I want to come a little closer so you can see. You will be able to see that on the eye, but she's still beautiful. And look at the color range of this up close. It's like neutrals with a soft touch of green, and I am too excited to get into this. So with no further ado, honey, let's get some eye primer on and get this tutorial started. Alright, you guys, it's time to get started. As with all tutorials, all tools and products used will be in the description bar below. I'm gonna go ahead and just jump into this because, baby, I knew I was gonna get it when it launched. I grabbed all of Juviasplace palettes. The thing is, this is prettier in person than it is online, and those swatches got me like, so I got to get into it. Ain't no time for playing, ain't no time for waiting. We just gonna take our largest, fluffiest blending brush, shade number 9 right here. We're gonna use that as a transition shade throughout the entire crease. Let's get her popping. Grab me a mirror, because I am excited for this. It has been a minute since I've done a Juviasplace tutorial, and we already know they pigmented, so knocking off all excess, and we're gonna just start off with this always on the outer end. That's where we want things the darkest, as well as low in the crease as we can get it. And as we build up, we can always come back and add more. Okay, so far for this transition shade, I'm not getting any issues with blending, but I gotta take a step back afterwards. Okay, there is some color coming through, but she ain't the color that I was hoping for. We ain't gonna lie on that. We're gonna go in with one more layer. We're just gonna tap her once just to see how much pigmentation she gonna give us. And this time we're gonna see if she be all right. Now there she goes. It's that second layer that I was looking for, honey. Although I like a soft, seamless transition, honey, I still want to be able to see that color. So for me, shade number 9 is much more buildable than she is pigmented. But she's definitely blendable. Okay, yeah, you can definitely see that compared to this side. Just want to take and lift her up a little higher on the outer end. And I'll be back after I do this on the other side. Alright, y'all. We ain't got no black in this palette, so I absolutely can't use one. But I've been avoiding greens lately, and I can't do it much longer. So shade number 10, we're going to take that because it has a grungy green undertone to it. And we're going to use that with a slightly smaller blending brush. And we're going to take that throughout our entire crease. Honey, we're going to definitely tap that off because this shade appears to be more pigmented. And with a green, I'd rather always go back and add a little bit more. So once again, outer V as low as we can. And we're going to go in. See how this builds and blends. Okay, no problem with blending, but I'm sort of getting the same vibe I did with that first shade. She's giving me a little more buildability and blendability than she is pigmentation. Because there's no problem with that. I can definitely tell there's more in the crease on this side than that side. But when I usually think of a juviasplace pigmentation, I'm usually thinking of something much stronger than this. So we are definitely going to go in with a second layer. Tap off as much as we can. Do that once more. And you can see how that pigmentation just came through even stronger. So yeah, they made this palette definitely more buildable than blendable. For me personally, because I have the skill level to blend, it doesn't bother me. But I guess if you are just now getting into makeup or you are not, let's say, completely comfortable with your blend, it does come off better to have a buildable shadow. So it's much harder to make a mistake. And I'm sitting back looking like, oh yeah, this side is definitely much darker and grungier. But I am the type of person who loves these type of looks. Greens are my absolute favorites. So I'll be right back after I do this on the other side. And we already know this look is dark enough, but not enough for me. Want to take shade number 11 here with our smallest, fluffiest blending brush, and I want to deepen up my crease. I really don't have to do it with this look. My main concern is just to see how much of this sparkle falls out on the face. So for those of you who do your eye makeup after your face makeup, we can have an idea of how much fallout you potentially may get. So let me put this down here. We got this brush here. This is my Redford number 14. And just by pressing, oh yeah, she's definitely the darkest shade and has the most kick up. And it looks like what we may do once we tap this off, I'm thinking most of that sparkle is going to fly away. And then we'll just have this color here. Actually, let me tap you off a little bit more because I don't want this to take this to black. We're going to see. She's definitely translating, and to me this shade is giving off much more pigment than the other shades, especially considering the fact we have such a small brush and very low into the crease. And I'm looking, honestly, I don't see any fallout, and I'm not seeing any of those sparkles. So if you tap off your brush, there's a pretty good chance most of that fallout will fall out. But I want to see how this shade diffuses when I try to raise my brush a little bit. Because with this shade being so dark, I don't see me going in and doing a second layer. She's giving me just enough to go ahead and say, I could lie and say this is a black, but you know what? This is truly a dark brown. We don't need to go ahead and call it that. But if you're someone who's afraid of black, this may be the shade for you. Okay, yeah, you can tell the difference between the depth on this side and on this side, so I'll be right back. Alright, I'm looking at things now, and normally I would fill in my outer V. I just love having depth and dimension there, but because I did that the past few looks, we're going to go ahead and skip it. Gonna grab my NYX glitter primer, my Morphe M421 brush, and we're gonna just take a little bit of this to cover our lids. I'm not necessarily looking to do a cut crease, but I do want a base down. And we're going to take this all the way from the center to the edges. Normally I will leave that outer V free of product, but we're gonna take the color all the way there today. I'm gonna first follow just my natural crease, not going up too high, and then I'll just diffuse the edges of that. And I'm just following my natural crease, just sinking the brush in there and letting it pick up wherever it picks up. Just go back and forth, and wherever you notice the highest point is, that's just where it's gonna be. Nothing specific. All right, I'm trying to figure out, like, Torrence, exactly which shades are grabbing your attention. I already know shade 1 as a topper, she got my eye. Shade 2 as a super shot got me because I just want to see what that, well, it's not technically a super shot because that's ColourPop's formula, but it's giving me that same texture. And I'm also getting something from shade number 6. So what I think we're gonna do is take shade number 2 on the inner half of our lid. Then we are going to go in and take shade 6 on the outer half of our lid. And from there, I'll decide where we're gonna take shade number 1. More than likely, I'm gonna take shade number 1 and place that on top of shade number 6. So let's go ahead. You already know with shade number 2, I told y'all he's sort of like that super shot. She's really creamy, and although she picked up really well with the brush, it seems she went from 0 to 100. So more than likely, this shadow is either gonna be extremely colorful or extremely patchy. I don't see it being in between. And baby, she's extremely colorful and pigmented, but the one thing I will tell you is she gonna come with some fallout. You see I got some right here on the side of my nose because she picked up a lot, but baby, the shine on that, you would almost think that that was a glitter by how textured she is, but she did not feel like a glitter in the pan. But the shine, I know y'all seeing the shine on camera, but what y'all are not getting is the reflect and the shift on this. I am seeing, it looks green, it looks orange, it looks gold, it looks blue. It is just beautiful. Oh yeah, we only doing that on the front half because I got to save some other space on the other side. So I'll be right back after I do this. Okay, yeah, honey, I've been trying for a few seconds now to get this color to pick up shade number 6. I done swiped my brush several times. So what we're gonna do is just go ahead and pick her up and try to apply her anyway. I'm gonna show y'all what this looks like with this natural hair brush. And then I'm gonna go in with a silicone applicator because I already have one loaded, but I just wanna show y'all the difference because, let me pull this up here. Let me put you to the side. Like, baby, I am going in here. Now y'all seen it. This shade here, she not giving what she supposed to give with the brush. For all of those swipes, she definitely give you pigmentation and the color is there, but it's the shine that's missing. Cause to me, that's beautiful. You can see her there, you can tell, but with as many times as I had to build and blend to get this, it's like, that ain't my juviasplace. So let me put that down and show y'all on the other side. I already got some on here on one side with my silicone applicator. Watch this. I'm gonna take this. Actually, just to show y'all, I'm gonna take the bare side. And we're gonna put that bare side on there. That way y'all can see it's still color on the opposite side. We're gonna take that and do just one swirl around. Take that and put that on this side and show you what that color impact will look like. And to me, to know that I got that one swipe on this side, and this the type of color impact I can get. Do y'all see a difference? This side was the brush. This side was the silicone applicator. To me, the silicone applicator shines a little stronger. It may be a little more difficult to blend your edges with a silicone applicator, but I feel as if this shade is definitely going to build up better with your finger or an applicator. I'm not a fan of using my fingers because of my long fingernails. But yeah, shade number 6, which I thought would be my favorite, is definitely not going to be one for the brush. You can go in with her, but she ain't going to give you everything you want from her. Alright, because I have slightly hooded lids, I want to deepen things up before we cut away. So I'm going to take my palette back out here. We're going to take shade number 11, just press it one time, tap off all excess, and we just want to go in and deepen up that crease the slightest bit, because I know I might have dragged some of those colors up a little high. This may even knock some of those sparkles out of the way, but you know what? It'll help deepen up the crease, so I don't mind it. And we're going to do just that. And doing that did give me some fallout, but that was my fault because I do have sparkles on my brush now. But as you can see, that one quick move also helped give me a little more definition to my crease. So we're going to put these brushed up here to the side. I'm going to cut away, finish off the face, and when I come back, I'm going to show you how we're going to finish off the eyes as well as the lips. Alright you guys, we are back, and I want to go ahead and let you know everything I used off camera. Once again, all tools and products will be in the description bar below. But I had to remind myself, slow down, pay attention, Torrence. I know you want to get out to work, but you do not want to mess things up, forget something, and then you have to do this video over. So, want to let you know off camera some of the things I used, what was good, what was bad, because baby, things were going back and forth, and I kept trying to tell myself either A, use things you've never tried, or B, use things that you don't remember that you've tried. And so we're going to start off with what? Blush. This is the KVD Everlasting Blush in the shade Poppy. I grabbed this simply because of the packaging. That rose shape packaging here is absolutely, let me cover my face. This packaging here is stunning, and I picked this up in 2 shades while it was on sale. I believe it's also able to be depotted. It's a small hole back here so you can pop this out. The fact that I can keep this compact, repress it with something else, had to get it. The thing is, when they call this Everlasting Blush, I am telling you, if you are not comfortable with your blending, do not grab this. You can see that, you know, coral flush that I have there. Tap my brush one time, went in, had to blend it out. It was blendable, but this is extremely pigmented. This is not a beginner-friendly blush, but she's beautiful, and this is, you know, one of those blushes that is so pigmented, I'll never hit pan on it. But she's nice for me, but I just say she's not beginner friendly. For mascara, trash. I'm about to throw her out now. This is the Too Faced Damn Girl Mascara sample that I received. I'm trying to think. It may have even been in my last video. I'll leave it linked right here above. I was wearing the, which mascara was that? The L'Oreal Voluminous Mascara, which I believe is a dupe for another Too Faced mascara. And although Too Faced makes some beautiful products, mascara has never been the one that did it for me. I have not found a single mascara from them that I like, and the fact that this has dried up like this, I'm telling you, when you open this mascara, like this is the wand here, watch when I pull it out how clumpy. Look at that wand, honey. Oh my goodness, and I love a thick mascara, but the bristles are sticking to each other to the point where I honestly don't even feel as if I'm wearing mascara. Technically, I can look at it and tell something's there, but I'm used to my lashes looking 2-3 times bigger than this, so sorry Too Faced, but I don't even want to put in the energy and effort to even test that out again. She has to go. On the lower lash line, I wanted to make sure that I wore something that I actually liked because I knew that mascara was like 24/7 Glide On eye pencils from Urban Decay. They're my favorite eyeliners, but I accidentally reached into the wrong drawer. I have 2 of them right here that I keep with me. I call this one my everydays. Let me see if I can make sure I don't knock that over like this. You see this one here? Full of my blacks, my greens, my browns. But these are my dark, grungy, neutral type greens in this one. And then I have one below that have all of my like vibrant over the top colors. And I accidentally grabbed a green from here because I knew what all my neutral greens look like. I grabbed one of my greens from this drawer here. You can look, all those pinks, those purples, those blues, it was bound to be over the top. So, which color did we end up going with? Because I've never tried this color, and although she's a lot darker and greener than what I wanted for this particular look. She is helped bringing some green life to it. This is called Electric Empire. And you can look and see she is a nice, vibrant, shimmery green. Normally, most people prefer a matte eyeliner, but I come to find that these shimmery ones, they seem to stand out and jump out at you, because that green there, she is popping, sis. I am loving her. I just probably wouldn't wear it with this again, but no problem with that color. She is fabulous for highlighter, honey. Because I know you see that glow. I know, look at that. Ooh, look at that. Oh, ooh. Baby, never tried out the formula, so I had to get her the Danessa Myricks Lightwork Volume 1 palette. I have Volumes 1 and 3. She is beautiful. There is no glitter in this. It is just a nice buildable shine. When you first put her on, she comes off one way, but as you build, the color and the shine gets better and better. I think I went in with 2, maybe 3 layers on the nose just to see what she's like. Got it right here near the temples, on the cheeks, Cupid's bow, chin, and I'm wearing this shade here, Easy Breezy. So to know for me, I got this shade here. She looks beautiful. I know I can go in with one of these pink tones if I ever wear one of those looks. I even have a shade darker than my complexion if I wanted, one even lighter. So this palette here, she's beautiful. If you have a tan complexion, she's absolutely stunning. I believe this one is for people with tan to lighter complexions. They also have a volume 2 that is much deeper. So if you have a deeper complexion, you don't have to worry about just, oh, I can only use 1 or 2 of those. Get the deeper palette with 6 shades that you can use. So Danessa Myricks, you got me excited to go ahead and pull out volume 3 out my drawer, but we can't do that today. I'm trying to look around to see, like, Torrence, is there anything else that we did? I'm not seeing anything, but 2 things on the eyes we got to finish. Lower lash line and our highlights. Thing is, I had completely forgot. We didn't use shade number 1 that was supposed to go across our lid because I was talking so much about making sure that outer corner color was built up that I wanted to do that first. So let's go in and put her down. Let me grab me a nice little brush here. And what I want to do first is take this shade number 1 and I'm going to just pack this on in the very center between those 2 shades just to see what she looks like. That way it'll give me a chance to see what she looks like built on top of this inner corner color here, which is shade number 6, as well as this inner corner color is shade number 2. The outer corner color is shade number 6. So we're going to take our brush. I'm going to wipe it off on the back of my hand just to make sure there's no extra product there. And we're just going to see what she looks like with a brush compared to over the eye here. And we're going to come to the center and bring it straight down. Just start there. And I think in person I can see that. I don't think she's translating on camera. So what we're going to do, once again, get our silicone applicator and test her out on the opposite side. Okay, now with this type of shade, we're going to put it on the silicone applicator and we're going to go over here and see. Okay, yeah, I think with a finger or a silicone applicator, this shade will apply better as well. But because she truly is a topper, I don't think this is something that, you know, you're going to see from across the room. I think this is probably going to be most beautiful in person or as a shade by itself to create a semi-glossy looking lid. But I think she is beautiful there. She is giving me an extra layer of shine in the center, but it's not something that's going to translate on camera. So shade number 1, if you don't use it on camera, you don't have to worry about her. Because I love depth and dimension, I don't only want that on the top half, we got to put that on the lower lash line as well. So we're going to take 2 pencil brushes and we're going to smoke out our lower lash line. We're going to take our largest brush in this shade here, number 9, and we're going to use that to smoke it out first. Then we're going to go in and get even closer to the lash line with shade number 10, and we're going to deepen things up. And this is where shadows that are buildable comes out much better than shadows that are pigmented. When you're on the lower lash line and you can't risk a mistake, you don't want a really dark pigmented shadow down there in case your brush slips. So we're going to start all the way on the outer end, try to get that to connect, and we're going to smoke this out here. And for me, I can truly see this color looking more pigmented on a lower lash line because it naturally creates that hollowness from that shadow. Just rude. what was I saying? We want to build this color up, and I can see much more of it building up on the lower lash line than I did on the top, because I have a bright under eye, concealer and powder here. But with just that one shade there, I'm not sure if it's showing up on camera, but this side definitely looks more smoky than this side in person. So I'll be back once I get them both to match. We know these shadows are pigmented, so we're gonna tap, tap, tap some of that off. Go ahead, hit this lower lash line. And I wanna make sure that connects on the outer end. We do not want that gap there. And we are not looking for this to come off as black at all. We just want it slightly deeper, just so it shows that we did put some energy and effort into the lower lash line. And sometimes I like to take the very tip of my brush, press it right into the shadow, and then press it right there to that very outer corner, just to make sure if there is a gap between where my eyelash closes, it doesn't show up as a dark color there where my natural complexion is compared to this dark shadow. So now, do this on the other side and I'll be right back. Now it's time to highlight our inner corner and our brows. And I'm sitting back looking like shade number 8 is the brightest in the palette, but shade number 7 looks like it'll complement this look a little bit more. So we're gonna take shade number 7 for our inner corner highlight. Then we're gonna jump up to shade number 3 right here, and I'm gonna use that for the brow bone because it complements my skin a little bit more than any other shade here. So we'll be right back after we do those. Now this is what I'm talking about. Shade number 7 pick up like a traditional powder. We already know this is gonna be brighter than everything else. It's about how much shine is she gonna give. Boom, boom. That color is there. She might not be quite as shiny as the lid shade, but you know what? She's a whole lot easier and faster to work with, so I'm gonna take her. She ain't got all those extra sparks and glitters, well not glitters, I would say refined sparkles, but as fast and as easily as that went on, and as bright as she is, she's a winner. So we're gonna wipe our brush off, flip her to the other side, then we're gonna come in and hit up shade number 3. Let me grab a little bit more just to see if that does pick up. And she ain't coming off the easiest on the brush, but considering the fact we're gonna use her as an underbrow bone highlight, we don't need too much. So let me turn my head here so y'all can see this. And with that shade, I'm getting much more sparkle than I am opacity. So next time I use that shade, I'm gonna have to see if she gives us full opacity. But right now, it's just a nice little glimmer underneath the brows. She's fabulous. And I wanna diffuse that because that is leaving some yellow sparks. Okay, she cute. She ain't the smoothest and shiniest, but I like her. And I'm sitting back like, Torrence, what else do we gotta do? Eyes is done, face is here, lips. I completely forgot, juviasplace brought out several lipsticks and glosses. I picked up 2. The first one we're gonna go into is this one here, the darkest one, Sheba. It is a beautiful, rich, dark, chocolatey brown. And I wanna go ahead and give you all a close-up view of that there. Look at the embossing on that tube, honey. But this lipstick here is way darker than what I feel comfortable with wearing. So what we're gonna do is just take an angled liner brush, and I'm gonna use this as a lip liner. I'm gonna just take my wand here because this is my personal bullet, and I'm just gonna swipe back and forth across the tip of the bullet like this. And we're just gonna use this to trace out a lip liner. And use her to create a lip liner. And just to help soften things up, I'm going to take a synthetic pencil brush. This is the e.l.f. Ultra Smudger brush, and I'm going to use that to diffuse this line here. I just don't want it to be quite sharp. You don't want to erase the line, you just want to soften up the edges of it before we go in with our bullet lipstick. Now I'm going to fill my lips in with this shade here. This is Nubian Sand. I believe this was the lightest color to come out with that collection. And this is the one I truly wanted. I'm always after a pale peachy pink nude shade. I think they are fabulous on my lips. And once again, this is my personal bullet, so I don't mind going straight in. But I want to start off at the very center of the lips and work my way out to help this color blend. I'm just gonna get it on first and then we can blend it later. And if, like me, you have a very strong Cupid's bow, you may notice when you rub your lips together like this, it creates that round shape on the top and the bottom, and it leaves those peaks right there. Just take your brush and push that lip color up to those edges so a huge part of the lip look too, honey. Then what it would naturally look. And last but not least, we're gonna go over everything with the gloss here in the shade Oasis. Although this gloss does look much prettier, the tube, the color of the gloss itself, I do believe the packaging on this is a lot smaller than they normally do. You can see it's about the size of a finger. Normally they have these short stubby ones that are rather wide, or the long thin ones. I think many times the longer, thinner ones are also for liquid lipsticks as well, but who cares, honey? This shade is so beautiful, I had to get into her. Oh, it looks like we have a new doe foot as well. Look at her. If you are someone who's used to the juviasplace glosses, you can see the difference on her. And I don't want to risk getting this dirty, so what we're going to do is take this and put this on something else. We're going to swipe this gloss right here onto a mixing tray. And because our angled liner brush is already dirty, we'll just use that to scoop up as much gloss as we can. Place that in the middle. I like a nice big dollop of lip gloss, honey. A whole lot of things I'm gonna go shy with. Lip gloss ain't one of them. And just use that to spread it around. Let's get me a mirror and see. Oh yeah. She's shimmery, but she looks creamy on top of this lipstick combo. Just gotta be honest. After I put that gloss on top of everything, I kept telling y'all this gloss comes off as a creamy gloss. No, it's more than likely still shimmery. It's because it done blended in with that lipstick. I personally don't mind it, but this, I'm gonna give it a few more moments because more than likely, if this don't dry down some, this may not be transfer proof, and if I put a mask on top of it, she gonna be like. So I'm gonna give this a few more moments. Go ahead and check to see what she looks like after it dries down a bit. But this look is already through, honey. It's time to go ahead and grab our setting sprays. So you might as well grab yours because you know I'm about to grab mine. Fix Plus to give us a glowy dew. All Nighter so things will last all day. Cheap Fan, Expensive Breeze, Good Times. I'm going to give this a few more moments to dry and I'll be back to show you all the final look. And here's the final look. Want to go ahead and give you all a full face view of things before I give you all my final thoughts. And I'm here to tell you, honey, it's 50-50. I'm not sure exactly how to say this. I don't know where to start with the good and the bad. So let's go ahead and let's just do this first. First off, this lip color, she's just not doing it for me. She's just coming off a little too dry, a little too ashy. And I'm not sure if it's this formula of the lipstick, the gloss, or what. Normally I have no problems with layering all of those. But I want to go in and add a little more depth and dimension to my lips. So what we're going to do is take the Luxe Liner in the shade Cola from juviasplace, and I'll be right back after I apply this. To me, this looks a little bit better. I was looking at my face on camera and I kept trying to figure out, Torrence, why do you look so shiny? There's the difference between glowy and greasy to me. And for a minute I kept saying like, Torrence, you look greasy. You have way too much shine going on. I know I did not bake. I just said everything, but then I realized I never put on my Laura Mercier powders on top of everything. I love this to set everything, to give me a glow, but help reduce some of that shine. And to me, this looks a lot better. I also went in with my Cola lip liner from juviasplace to help tone this lip down because I'm like, honey, she look a little too pale, a little too nude. And to me, this looks a lot better. So let's go ahead and get into everything. First off, these lipsticks and these glosses, I'm gonna have to test them both out again separately. I'm gonna have to try the lipsticks with just liners that I already love. Same thing with these glosses to figure out which one of them was giving me issues. I normally don't have an issue when I try to go in with the lipstick and use that as a liner, although most lipsticks aren't quite as, how can I say, aren't quite as matte and hold on the way I want as a lip liner. It usually gives me no issues. And it just seems like once I layer these one on top of the other, it just became one big cream product. And usually I still like my lipstick and my gloss to be a little separated, but we were able to fix this. I have things on now. It's much more comfortable now, but I just truly feel as if with this particular shade here, any of these, they'll go much better with an actual lip liner, but they're all beautiful. With this eyeshadow palette, star of the show here. I've been sitting back trying to go back and forth and figure out, Torrence, what is it about this shadow that just isn't quite sitting well with you? And the thing is, I truly feel as if the mattes are beginner friendly. They are truly what I call buildable shadows instead of pigmented shadows. So if you're someone who's afraid of making a mistake, you're afraid that you're going to drop your brush is going to go into the wrong area, the mattes in this palette are beautiful because they give you time to build them up and get the color payoff that you want. The thing is, on the opposite end, these shimmers, it seemed like they finicky. How can I say this? Either you are going to be able to use your brush and have absolutely no issues, or you're going to have to finesse these shadows. Things like this. This first shade here, she's truly a topper shade. Most topper shades don't have that much pigmentation or things like that, so you can just swipe that across with your finger. I'm someone who doesn't like using my fingers, so it always means I'm going to have a silicone applicator, a sticky base, or something. Same thing with this shade here. She's beautiful, but you all saw how many times I had to swipe her with a regular brush to get her on there. It didn't work. One swipe with your finger or a silicone applicator is beautiful. So to me, do I recommend this palette? Because she's beautiful and I know how to work with her, I'm gonna say yeah. But if you are not someone who uses your fingers to do your shimmers, I'm sorry. In my opinion, this is probably the most beautiful neutral color story that juviasplace has done. I know how to make it work, so I'm gonna make her work, but I would never get this to my sister and just send her on her way. She would come back with sparkles everywhere. She would come back not knowing what went wrong and why this does not work like many other palettes that I've given her from juviasplace. I know I believe it's the Warrior 1 or 2. I'll leave that video link right here above. I absolutely love that palette. And I know with those shimmers, you can use that with your fingers or a brush. With this one, fingers only. I would not even risk taking my time using my brush with it. But for me, having larger fingers, having nails, I don't find I can get precision with my fingers. But if you're the type of person who's just gonna take, let's say, a large fluffy blending brush, tap her in, blend her out throughout the crease, take any one of these shades, swipe her on with the finger, you'll enjoy her. If like me, you like to do detail, you like to go over the top, you like to test out formulas, see what works with what, to me it took way too long to get this going. Was I able to get it going? Of course. I have plenty of brushes, plenty of talent, and plenty of time to sit down and say, okay, it didn't work like this. I know how to fix it like that. The average person is not trying to work for the shadows. They want the shadows to work for them. So to me, if you don't mind putting in the energy and effort, she's good. If not, whoo. And you all know this is a positive channel. I usually do not like to speak bad on brands, especially brands that I love and support, especially Black-owned brands, female-owned brands, indie brands. Those are all things that hold special places in my heart. But I gotta be honest with you all, no matter how much I love a brand, no matter how much I love a product, I'm not gonna tell you all to get it if I truly don't believe you all can get some use out of it. And I just really feel the mattes, beginner friendly, the shimmers are gonna take some skill. And most people are usually on one side or the other side. And for me, although I have the skills to make it work, do I want to put in the time and energy and effort? Off camera, yes. On camera, never. I don't ever want to have to struggle like that again. So I'm gonna head off to work, then head off to physical therapy. So I hope you all truly did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you all would like to see another tutorial with this palette using the other shades, just so you all can get a complete look and a complete idea of what they all feel like, I can make sure I get that going for you. If I do that again, I'm gonna make sure I test one of these lipsticks out without the gloss, just to make sure I see if they changed up that formula or not. But I've been ranting. I need to be going ahead and getting out of here. So with nothing else, I hope you all remember to practice, continue to stay blessed, and until next time, goodbye, YouTube. Is we recording? Looks like it. Okay, editing Torrence here. First off, let me just say, everything I said in my first impressions video just before this, still my honest opinion, not changing it. The thing is, after wearing this for a day, whole bottom half is basically done for. None of the lippy survive, no parts of it. You can see where some of the face right here, where my mask was at, he done started to come off. I even got some damage right here near the eye area because I received some terrible news from a friend earlier, so we were both in tears. The thing is, I really got to do a part 2 of this because I got to see if I can make these work. It could have been my fault for trying to use a creamy lipstick as a liner that I didn't know the formula about, but we're going to test that again. But what's getting me is this eyeshadow palette here. When I tell you this look here is beautiful. Has she faded some? Yes. But when I tell you, as time has gone on, she's looking more and more and more beautiful. And I just keep looking at it like she is gorgeous. But I still believe at the end of the day, you have to work for this palette. It's not going to work for you. But she's so pretty, I got to try again. I think this might be my favorite neutral palette from Juvia's Place because I don't mind the energy and effort. But I got to see if there's any look I can do with this that is extremely easy for y'all to pull off, because I'm loving it. So, I just had to add this little clip in here at the end of the day because, baby, I am looking rough. I want to go ahead and hurry up and go snatch this makeup off, get into bed. But once again, I hope you all truly did enjoy this video. Please sit back and be ready because a second part of this will be coming. I got to do it because she is fabulous to me, but I don't want y'all wasting y'all money if I believe I can help y'all. So, we're going to cut this video off here. See y'all next week and love you. Goodbye.